Oisin McConville sets himself up for this free. Points to his credit so far, going for the hat-trick. And that's easily achieved. And then from County Armagh are now firmly in front by 2 points. Good intelligent kick out by Stephen Gray. Armagh Footballer of the Year, Kieran McGeeney, and current All-Star. Fouling off the ball, which McCurley was quick to spot, so it's a free for Crossmaglen. John McEntee to his twin brother Tony. Into the space. Good intelligent ball yet again to Gavin Comiskey. McConville has gone in the overlap. Comiskey turns the other way, and that is just inches to the left and wide. Because of the strategy that these players develop of using a third midfielder, there is quite an amount of space in front of the Na Fianna goal mouth. And every time it's pumped in long, it seems to cause danger. Here's Senan Connell, Dublin's senior panellist. More as a wing forward, but in Na Fianna they think he's better as a wing back. John Donaldson. Gary McShane, not liking the challenge from Carl Donnelly. And it's McShane that gets the free. Jim McConville. High challenge again. The referee, I think, is going to have a word this time with Stephen McGlinchey. And I think he's just noted his name in the book for that high challenge on Jim McConville. Less than 5 minutes now to the half-time. Not one of Oisin McConville's best passes by any means. Sean Ford did well to battle and regain possession. Quickly taken by Tom O'Lynch. McGeeney trying to seek out Desi Farrell. The ball was just too strong and inaccurate. John McEntee with the sideline kick. Well gathered. Aaron Shearer. Carl Donnelly. Back to Senan Connell. John McEntee easily intercepts. Jim McConville in a great tussle with Stephen McGlinchey. Falls down towards Sean Ford. Jail is underneath it. And again, Crossmaglen look in control. Tony McEntee, Carl Short, giving assistance. Jim McConville is obviously in pain here in the centre of the pitch, and that's going to cause a delay, as Mick Curley has now halted play so that Jim can get some medical attention. Ian Foley, who has been so impressive through this Na Fianna Championship, warming up along the sideline, as Jim McConville. We took a rest actually after last year's All-Ireland Championship campaign for about 3 or 4 months. Didn't play in any of the Armagh League games, and came back with renewed vigour and determination and won back his place. Just about 2 minutes to the half-time whistle. Of course, there will be a few minutes added on due to the injuries and the delays we've had here in Croke Park. But while Crossmaglen looked the better side in this first half, there are signs that Fianna can match them. It's around midfield that Crossmaglen's physical strength and dexterity is most obvious. And obviously that ankle is a major source of concern. And the spectators here obviously enjoying proceedings in what is a most unusual looking Croke Park. You just might see what happened with Jim McConville here. As you can see, he fell awkwardly with that challenge with Stephen McGlinchey and stayed down. Seemed to fall awkwardly and hit the ground at some pace. And it doesn't look good for Jim McConville. And this will be heartbreaking for him personally. Joe Kernan will have to consider bringing in perhaps Micheál Moley, who normally plays in the forward line. And then again, Jim McConville just might be able to continue on. Hopefully so. The Fianna players protest. What did we do wrong? Oisin McConville was clearly being fouled, so it's another free for Crossmaglen. So we're into injury time now in this All-Ireland Club Football Final. And Crossmaglen will surely add to their tally and perhaps go in at half-time leading by 3 points. Let's see. Oisin McConville. From our camera at the canal end, you can see it goes straight over the crossbar. Straight down the middle. It's not a tactic that the Fianna should employ because although they got the lucky break, Crossmaglen's big men seem to be dominating that area. This time it works out fine. Here's Jason Sherlock on the turn and he sends it to the right and wide. Just seemed to rush his shot. Consequently was inaccurate. Paul Hearty, who missed out in the All-Ireland final of '97. He broke his ankle in a car accident just before it. Played last year and of course this year. Oisin McConville was challenged, and again the protests come from the Fianna, and Michael Curley will have no more verbal abuse. Perhaps a yellow card for Des Mackin. He gets the first yellow card of the match. Oh my God, Brendan! Gavin Comiskey did well to beat Brendan Quinn, and perhaps Crossmaglen will increase their interval lead. This is well within the range of Oisin McConville. And Jim McConville obviously cannot continue. And the referee has allowed Jim McConville to go off the pitch at the far side as his younger brother, Oisin, takes this free. sends it straight over the crossbar. 4 points for Oisin McConville. And that's the difference between the teams, as we surely will hear the half-time whistle in a matter of moments. And in fact, it is Micheál Moley, number 18, that has been introduced for Jim McConville. And that is unfortunate for Jim. Oisin McConville again. Fianna have difficulties in that vital, crucial area of midfield. John McEntee. Anthony Cunningham wasn't expecting it. Tomo Lynch spotted it and fed Sean Ford. Pat McCarthy needs Tomo Lynch yet again. Senan Connell, another player that transferred from Oliver Plunkett's. Kieran McGeaney, great running off the ball by Senan Connell. A player obviously that impressed Tommy Carr for that quick speed that he has out in the wings. Mick Galvin, Sean Ford. Galvin a better scorer. I think Sean Ford acknowledged it with a pass back, and well won back by big Colm O'Neill, who's playing a defensive midfield role. He's be wearing number 15, but operating almost in the full back line. Carl Short. Great crossfield ball. Running into the picture, Tony McEntee. What a finish this would be if he gets a shot at goal. He takes his point. Not one, not two, not three. No Fianna players could stop it. It was the intelligent ball that created the score. And full credit to Tony McEntee, but also to Carl Short. He twisted and turned and left Na Fianna stranded. Well, we thought they might lead by 3 points at half-time, but as referee Mick Curley blows the half-time whistle. In fact, the reigning All-Ireland Cup champions have a half-time lead. Much to talk about. Indeed, everybody, I'm sure, here enjoying proceedings. As we look at some of the scores of the first half, as a lovely save here by Stephen Gray. Brilliant save, deprived Crossmaglen of a point. Meanwhile, Senan Connell was setting up Mick Galvin at the other end for a crucial score as Na Fianna quickly settled. But no doubt the most impressive side on view are the reigning champions, as John McEntee sends that over the bar. So that's the story at Croke Park at the moment. Plenty to talk about after you join us after the commercial break.
Well, the champions, Crossmaglen Rangers, still have a firm grip on their title. They lead Na Fianna at half-time by 9 points to 4. Kevin McStay, deservedly so, because they had the better of most of those exchanges.
They did. They opened up, Michael, as if they were going to run away with the final. In fact, the result at half-time really just about does justice to the domination of Crossmaglen. They've really dominated the game. I'm very disappointed with Na Fianna so far. You know, just not enough of them playing, and unless they get their act together, the game is going to be over.
Odd kind of a first half, because Rangers were way ahead. Got the first couple of 3 or 4 scores, and Na Fianna came into a patch and then drifted out again. Yeah, and I felt early on Na Fianna just couldn't handle the way Crossmaglen were playing a lovely short game and then letting a long ball in and then pushing in after it. Na Fianna seemed to have no idea how to counteract that, and fouled very badly. You know, got the wrong side of the men and pulled them down very lazily. And Oisin McConville is killing them on frees. You know, they want to sort that one out. But I must say, after that, Na Fianna did come back. We have a good shot here, actually, of the one that hit the post. Great effort by McConville. Really should have taken his point there, Michael, I felt. You know, there was very early on in the game, but a cracking shot. Keeper couldn't believe his luck here, I'd say.
Hadn't a notion where it was. It just fell into his paw. And here we go again. They overcook it here a little bit. A poor return pass from Gavin Thomasky, put it behind the player, really, and that's where the chance was lost.
But once again, credit to the keeper for snuffling this.
Yes, and at this stage, I mean, it was what's going to happen next for Crossmaglen. Na Fianna were just all over the shop at this stage.
As I said, having then conceded the first 3 or 4 points, Na Fianna then woke up and they got a couple of good scores themselves.
They did. They scored some lovely scores and moved the ball along. Complete contrast to the way Crossmaglen played the ball. This is an excellent score here. It goes out to Mick Galvin, I should think.
Yeah. Well, Mick has looked the most likely, hasn't he, in the first half for them?
He's really himself, Kieran McGeaney, Desi Farrell to a lesser extent. Mick has certainly been playing the captain's part. He's the only player that's been really on top of his game. Very nice point again there now by Des Mackin. Very tidy point, a nice long ball into the corner, took his man out and slipped it over the bar. But they have to do lots more of that if they're going to get back into it.
Yeah. Well, on the other side again, going back to Crossmaglen, the two McEntees, John and Tony, they've made a big contribution also in that first half.
They have, and when you throw in now that Jim McConville is out of the action, the McEntees' effort is put into context really. They wanted them badly and they have played very well for them. Here's another nice chance for John. Simple point, lovely left foot, swings that over beautifully. They're getting them very easily, their scores are coming very easily to Crossmaglen. You have to be impressed by the way they're throwing the ball around.
The absence now for the second half of Jim McConville that you mentioned there, how much is that going to affect him? Because he's a very tricky forward, very capable.
And having one of his best games for a long time. He was playing just in front of me in the Cusack. He was out in front all the time. His marker had no idea how to handle him and popping off ball to runners going by him. He was a handful. Very unlucky. He went for a ball, came down awkwardly on his ankle, and he's out of the final, unfortunately for Jim. He's going to be a huge inspiration to Crossmaglen, you know.
We've seen very little, as you said a moment ago, on the other side from the Fianna, some of their more rated forwards.
Well, I can't understand, a team that was going so well towards the end of the Crossmaglen match. They're nowhere to be seen at the moment. They just haven't played, and I'm sure Paul Caffrey is saying, the dressing room fellas, if we don't start playing, this game is going to be gone from us.
5 points in football. Okay, it's not an insurmountable challenge, but it is difficult. All Crossmaglen have to do is get another couple of points and Fianna can say bye-bye.
Well, I'd say the first 10 minutes, if Crossmaglen tack on another one or two, it's over, Michael. On the other hand, Fianna could say, they're going at half-time, this game could be over. These other two chances that we reviewed there, the McConville chances, if they were in the net, this game was all over now at this stage. So on the one hand, they're lucky to be where they are in Fianna, but on the other hand, if they don't start playing, it's all over for them.
A little bit like Athenry in the first match when they were outplayed for much of the first half and still came out and won the thing.
Yeah, hurling though is slightly different. It is a big lead now, 9-4, and the way they're playing, you can't see where these scores are going to come from. Unless Desi Farr gets a grip of it or Kieran McGeaney can push a bit harder, they're going to have to look for huge displays now from their experienced players.
In fairness to the forwards, I suppose if you haven't got the ball coming into you, there's not too much you can do about it, is there? Well,
Fianna have been killed defensively, and I mean that's the main reason McConville is getting all the easy chances from frees. Is again the wrong side of their markers. Their first instinct seems to be fouling, and I'm surprised at that because McConville is such a good free taker. You just cannot. I've him down for 5 now. He's scored 5, more than 50% of the total, and that's really hurting them.
I did make a point to you before the match that the contrast in these two teams is Crossmaglen have been here 3 times in the last 4 years. They have the experience, of course, and the Fianna seem to struggle a little bit with the whole thing.
They did, and you'd have to say that Crossmaglen opened up so confidently and nonchalantly almost, throwing the ball around, waiting for the runners to get into position, and Fianna had no answer to it. I am surprised at Fianna. There's a huge amount of experience in the team, and they shouldn't really be so stage-struck. They should be playing a lot better than they are.
If they had a game plan, presumably they did, obviously it's not working. So, how are they going to try? What would Paul Caffrey be saying to them now that can turn this around? Where would you see him getting a grip?
Well, I think Paul has to just sit down and start looking at fellas around the dressing room and saying, you're just not playing. It's the biggest day of your life for the club, and there's 12, there's the guts of a dozen people just not playing for Fianna. And unless, no matter what he says, Michael, if they don't start performing, they haven't a hope.
Without picking out any player in particular, but nonetheless, Jason Sherlock has been notable by his absence in that first half.
Yeah, he's been busy. He's trying hard, but I'm a little bit disappointed with his finishing. For a player of his ability, he had a couple of handy points there to toss over. He's busy, he's trying, but he's not making any impact really on Donald Murtagh. And again, like Sherlock is a big name player. He has to be doing something out here on final day. He's not doing enough.
Well, they won't have heard it at home, and a merciful roar has gone up in the dressing room beside us here. That's the Fianna dressing room. So obviously, they have to be up. I mean, there's nothing they can do now except go out and try and play.
Well, they have to go out now and give it 30 minutes. I mean, throw the sink at them the whole lot, because 30 minutes time, if they don't put up a performance, they're going to be well beaten by Crossmaglen.
You said before the match that you thought the Fianna might shade it by a couple of points. Presumably you're beginning to doubt your own judgment now. Yeah,
it's not looking good for them, I have to say, and I'd still give them a chance if I thought there was a few playing reasonably well, but you just can't see where they're going to turn it around from. I hope they do, because otherwise the final is going to be a damn scrape. It's going to run away in 10 or 15 minutes time.
Well, indeed, the first 10 minutes of the second half, Kevin, will tell us a lot, won't it? Let's go back to Marty Morrissey.
Thank you, Michael. Indeed, just reflecting on what Kevin McStay was saying, maybe a change of tactics might help Fianna. Maybe they should play an extra player down defensively and leave Colm O'Neill ramble around the Crossmaglen half-back line. But let's just see. Paul Caffrey has guided this team along with John Caffrey, Brendan O'Malley, Pat Coffey and John Brown, and they know their players, and I'm sure that we will see a refreshed Fianna outlook in this second half. A lot will depend. I noticed that Fianna have brought in a substitute. It looks like Dermot Lynch, Donald Keegan is on, and we'll tell you about that in just a moment. Kieran McGeeney is now going to right half forward. So Donald Keegan is on at midfield. And it could well be Sean Ford has gone from midfield. I think it is. Carl Donnelly is now at midfield with Donald Keegan. So concession from the Fianna that midfield is a major source of difficulty. The type of ball that Jason Sherlock feeds on is the long, low ball, chest high. And I'm sure that's what Paul Capri and his selectorial colleagues were telling the players. Carl Donnelly, that's the type of ball. To Jason Sherlock. The overlap provided by Aaron Shearer. The effort is just to the left and wide. But tactically, much more impressive from the Fianna. I'm sure they will try this again. The Dublin and Leinster champions need scores, and fairly quickly, to get into their stride. John Donaldson. A little bit too strong for Colm O'Neill. Kieran McGeeney is back there. Tom O'Lynch. Aaron Shearer battling with big, tall Francie Bellew. Desi Farrell trying to flick it on to Jason Sherlock. He needs the support outside. Mackett. Inside is Carl Donnelly. The fisted passes over the bar. Much better from the Fianna. The left half forward was providing the support for Jason Sherlock. And it's down to 4 points. This is where Jason Sherlock thrives. Saw the support from Donnelly and did well. John McEntee gets a clean catch. Colm O'Neill has gone rambling inside. Scoring not really Colm's forte, but his work rate and endeavour at midfield is most appreciated by club and parish. Stephen Gray, who was a substitute in the county final of '98 here in Dublin, as a wing forward. He's a converted keeper. Be well tested out here. John McEntee. Available is Micheál Moley. And that is, yes, over the bar. Quick response from the All-Ireland champions. And it's back to a 5-point difference again. Micheál Moley is such an invaluable member of this panel and has come on before in All-Ireland Cup finals and done the business. It's a good crossfield ball. Lovely football from Crossmaglen. Micheál Moley. Industrious, busy. Gavin Comiskey needs the support of Oisin McConville. And Oisin sliced it badly. And very much wide. No real options in terms of running off the ball or a quick kick out. Still driving it down the middle where Crossmaglen are dominant. Here's Tony McEntee. Gavin Comiskey comes in a little bit late. Chance, goal. Oisin McConville. It's simple but beautiful. Straight from the kick out, which has not been advantageous at all for Na Fianna, because when they send it down the middle, there's trouble immediately on the way. McEntee fed Comiskey, wait for the arrival of Oisin McConville, and he slotted it home. Well worked, good creativity, and the finish, simple but superb. Now, here's Dessie Farrell. The greatest test, surely, for the Dublin and Leinster champions. A shot at a point, and it's sent over the bar. Aaron Shearer. First point of the game for the corner forward. Tony McEntee. Gavin Comiskey fouling Brendan Quinn. Quickly taken. Long ball inside. Donald Murta. Some questioned his lack of pace before the game, but if they did, Na Fianna haven't capitalised on that. He's been rock solid. Touched along the ground. Called short. Found guilty by the superintendent and also the match referee, Mick Curling. Dessie Farrell. The support was from Aaron Shearer, and he did well to score under pressure. Dessie Farrell now beginning to show a little bit more energy and certainly a lot more involvement. And Dessie is going to take this himself. Difficult enough angle for a left-footed kicker, but Dessie swings it across the face of the goal and wide. And knowing Mr. Farrell well, he'll be bitterly disappointed. Na Fianna bringing in Ian Foley, who scored 8 points in the championship campaign so far, and his brother Mark is the centre half back that we mentioned earlier, and he may add a little bit more buzz and zip to the attack. Foley on for corner forward Alan Shearer. Confirmation there in your screens. Na Fianna. Mick Galvin, and that is gone over the bar. Good play. 3 points for Mick Galvin in this game. And a cool head, and you can see there by his actions. Let's calm matters down. Let's not panic. It was Senan Connell that set up Galvo for the point. Seeking and finding Anthony Cunningham was Paul Hearty. John Donaldson on towards Joe Fitzpatrick. Ian Moley. Good substitute to have. Paul Short. And easily read. Oh, Pat McCarthy. Better play from Na Fianna. Dessie Farrell orchestrating things now from around midfield. That's a good ball. Better ball indeed for Jason Sherlock. This is where he will look a little bit more dangerous and create a few palpitations in County Armagh. Dessie Farrell caught about a point. Now comes the support from behind in the form of Senan Connell. It's lobbing, and it's lobbing off the crossbar and over the bar. Senan Connell, the scorer, and Fianna remain in touch. And when they play the right sort of ball up to their attack, the dividends are obvious. Kieran McGeeney. In sneaking in was John Donaldson. Senan Connell being just noted by the referee. Comes down towards Kieran McGeeney. Michael Morley again. Gavin Comiskey. Support is not readily obvious. Oisin McConville feeding Tony McEntee. Here's big Colm O'Neill. Nice control. Break falls down towards Oisin McConville. And it only took a last-minute challenge from Brendan Quinn, the vice-captain of Fianna, to deprive Oisin McConville of a possible second goal. Here was the challenge from Brendan Quinn, happy to concede the 45. Mark Foley seems to have been injured in the action just a few moments ago. Obviously picking up a thigh or a knee injury there. Official attendance is 31,925. Quite a large crowd. So Oisin McConville takes the second 45 for Crossmaglen. His team ahead by 5 points. That's tailing to the right. Fianna's hopes are still alive. Joe Kernan has to be a happy man. His team have played far better than they did last year against Ballina. A match they still talk about in County Mayo. A game they feel they should have won. Donald Murta. Lending assistance is Martin Callum. Back to Donald Murta. John McEntee survives the challenge from Kieran McGeeney. And Mark Foley. Gavin Comiskey. John Donaldson. 2 against 2. Tomo Lynch had to be alert. Carl Donnelly. And the umpire signalling that there was a foul, and the free is quickly taken. Carl Donnelly. Senan Connell. This is better football from Fianna. It may be slow, but I think it's the only way they can get past that area of the field that's causing them problems. Now here's a breakaway. Cahill Short. Gavin Comiskey has made himself available. Short goes it alone and sends it over the bar. The second point of this All-Ireland final. In the All-Ireland semi-final against UCC, Crossmaglen were absolutely devastating. In the final, they're much more controlled, but even more impressive. If that is possible, considering their demolition of the students. First ball, really, that Fianna have won in midfield. Tessie Farrell, Carl Donnelly. Francie Bellew is challenging. Fianna are introducing Nola Moraku as they try to make further changes. He's a defender, normally a corner back. And going off is Mark Foley. That's a big blow to Fianna, who obviously picked up an injury that time. But Nola Moraku is quite an impressive player, originally from County Kerry. Dingle, in fact. As Mick Galvin sends that over the bar for his fourth point. Still 5 points between the teams. Confirmation of the substitution. Nola Moraku is on. Mark Foley is the player that's gone on. And here is Donald Keegan. Jason Sherlock lobbing one in. That's a good ball. A chance here perhaps. And the referee says the pass was a legal one from Ian Foley, and that's going to be a free out. Just gone past the halfway mark now in this second half, and Fianna still trying to come to terms with the imposing challenge of the champions. The fact that Desi Farrell is more involved out around that midfield sector is surely a bright start for them as Senan Connell goes forward, seeks out Ian Foley, and that is going over the bar. That's a good point. His first of this All-Ireland final and his 9th in the championship campaign. 4 points between the teams. Good interplay here as Ian Foley took his chance. In many ways, to reflect on last year, Fianna remind me of Crossmaglen's performance, because Crossmaglen were inept in comparison to their normal standards, and Ballina looked the more impressive. Now today it's the opposite way around. I wonder, could Fianna possibly catch Crossmaglen? Gavin Comiskey. Donald Keegan has been busy since coming on. So too is Nola Moraku. This is far better by Fianna, and Crossmaglen wisely challenging and fouling in the Fianna half of the field. Carl Donnelly aiming for Mick Galvin at the far side. Joe Fitzpatrick chasing after it. Senan Connell. Another testing ball. The break here will be crucial. It falls Fianna's way. Desi Farrell. Back to Mick Galvin. That way is definitely blocked for Mick. Has to start again. Difficult angle. Tries to loop it in. And with the help of the crossbar, puts it over. That's a great point by Mick Galvin. 5 points for the 36-year-old captain of Fianna. It's the only way they can break down this Crossmaglen defence. It's slow, it's methodical. And Paul Harty was quite relieved to just tap that one over. Oisin McConville's goal separates the sides. Tony McEntee is fouled. That's going to be a free for the Rangers. Oisin McConville. It's this sweetly but inaccurately. Just over 19 minutes gone now in the second half. 5 points the difference between the teams at half-time. It's now down to just 3. As Crossmaglen launch another attack. Paul short. Pat McCarthy trying to stay with him. And that's gone out off the Fianna defender for a 45. Joe Kernan must be just a small bit concerned now, because they have been the better team for virtually all this match, but that lead is not substantial. This is Joe Fitzpatrick, the wing-back, taking the 45. Nobody can reach it. Then down the middle. It's not been a very happy route for Fianna, but this time they do get the break. Carl Donnelly. Crossfield ball towards Ian Foley. Desi Farrell in the middle, trying to loop it over the heads of the Crossmaglen defenders on towards Senan Connell. Francie Bellew blocks the way to goal. Still Senan needs the support outside, but there's nobody there except John Donaldson. Carl Donnelly conceding the 3, just a few metres outside the Crossmaglen 45. John McEntee giving it long. On towards Micheál Morley. Nola Moraku has drafted in and settled the cornerback. Donald Keegan. Carl Donnelly. This is far better from the Fianna. Have to work it from their own half-back line and cornerbacks. Tom O'Lynch. Holding possession is crucial. Desi Farrell usually can score from here, and he's done it again. Desi Farrell's second point. Just 2 points between the teams. Could it possibly happen that a team that looked so impressive against a team that was stuttering, to say the least, could perhaps snatch victory at the end? Desi Farrell thinks so. John McEntee. The break falls for Oisin McConville. Micheál Morley is there. Chance of a goal or a point. He takes the latter. 2 points for the substitute. And he has certainly proven his worth since being introduced. Oisin McConville. 2 the Fianna defenders chased after him. Micheál Morley, however, kept his composure and did very well. Doing better. They're trying to force the breaking ball at midfield. Jason Sherlock. The support outside is from Mick Galvin, who's leading by example. Cornerback Carl Donnelly it is. Nicked away. And that's going to be a free out. The referee in very quickly and is going to have a word with some of the players. The referee is having another word with Des Macken. perhaps he's just asking how much is left, because remember, Des Mackin had a yellow card. In fact, Mackin wasn't involved at all, as you can see. So in fact, Mick Curley, match referee, is having a word with Jason Sherlock, and he has in fact been shown the yellow card. Confirmation of that yellow card for the full forward. Tomo Lynch. Desi Farrell trying to break it away from John Donaldson. The Fianna are far better working the ball up from the full back line and half back line rather than the long ball. Crossmaglen are able to mix it in a cocktail of styles, long and short. This is the long ball, down to Micheál Mole. With him, Nola Muraku. Oshie McConville. Gavin Comiskey. That's going to be a free in. Brendan Quinn and Kieran McGeeney between them fouling the full forward. Stephen Gray, the goalkeeper, busy organising his defence as Oisin McConville sets himself up for this free. A goal and 5 points in this All-Ireland final. It's now a goal and 6. Well, perhaps Crossmaglen felt after the opening 20 minutes that they had the game won. We always feel that the Ulster and All-Ireland champions could go into top gear at any moment. But full credit to Fianna. They continue to battle and are playing far more impressively. McGeeney, Farrell and Sherlock on the run. It's Sherlock dropping it in. First ball here to over towards John Donaldson. Anthony Cunningham unable to hold on to it. Here's Donald Murtagh. Under a spot of pressure, still trying to get it up. Colm O'Neill to John Donaldson over this side, making a great run is right corner back Martin Callum. Micheál Mole, and well read by an Fianna defence that's exposed and struggling at times. Brilliantly won back again by Crossmaglen. Fancy Bellew doing all the hard work. Out in the wing, it's Sean McEntee, and he's sent it wide. Kick out quickly taken. 4 points, remember, between the teams. Tomo Lynch. There's a chance here. Ian Foley waited for it. It was cleverly knocked down for him. Desi Farrell is available outside. Still Ian Foley. Great run and into the side netting. Well, he had the cheek, and full credit to his confidence. He took on the Crossmaglen defence, and when you look at it from that angle, he really had few options. Nobody was available. Donald Murtagh has problems again with his elbow, and there will be a delay. The seat is heavily strapped. He's just told his manager, Joe Kernan, that he's able to continue on. He runs timely for big Colm O'Neill. Earl Donnelly. And that's a hefty challenge on Kieran McGeeney by Gavin Comiskey. Tomo Lynch spreading the ball over towards Mick Galvin, belying his 36 years. with a wonderful exuberant performance. Deflected out by Anthony Cunningham. Sideline ball. And Mick wants to take it himself. Looking. Focused. Seeing if anybody is free. Mick Galvin, I think, has decided to try for a point and reduce it down to just 3. Donald Murch's ball. Oisin McConville and Carl Short, 2 of the half-forward line, deep inside their own half of the field. McConville is there for the return. Put off it fairly and squarely by Pat McCarthy. Gavin Comiskey. As Crossmaglen hold possession, that is going over the bar. Joe Fitzpatrick. He's scored 4 points so far in the championship, and the wing-back joins the attack to put the touch. And right on the stroke of full time, Crossmaglen Rangers are crowned All-Ireland champions yet again. Mick Curley has blown the whistle. Na Fianna's end has come, but not before a brave second-half performance. But unquestionably, unequivocally, Crossmaglen are the reigning All-Ireland champions for the 2nd year in a row. They deserve it. Full-time score, Crossmaglen Rangers 114, Na Fianna of Dublin 12 points. It's some achievement for Crossmaglen. 3 All-Ireland titles, 97, 99 and 2000. 3 Ulster titles, 96, 98, 99. They have 5 Armagh under-21 titles as well. And this was a most impressive final performance. Particularly in the first half, they were devastating. In the second half, they were controlled. But once Oisin McConville scored the goal, well then, it seemed the Andy Merrigan Cup was bound once again for the lovely village of Crossmaglen in South Armagh. Micheál Moley also contributed in a huge panel effort as
champions, the best team of the country yet again.
That's unbelievable. I can't believe it's happened now, but these boys are so good. They work so hard, they're so disciplined, and they played some lovely football. At half-time we should have been 9 or 10 points up.
Yeah, you had a great first half. Was that caused in part by the experience of being here so many times before?
Well, it all helps, but the whole thing is these boys can be explosive when they want to be. This is the place to do it on Cook Park and an All-Ireland finally, and it was absolutely brilliant today.
We were wondering about this opening 10 minutes of the second half, whether we'd have a match or not, and you got a goal after about 5 minutes. We thought it was all over.
Yeah, well, I think some of our boys thought that too, but they showed their character again when the Fianna come back at us, and like, we always looked dangerous when we had the ball.
The Fianna provided sterling opposition. They got it down to 2 points at one stage.
They did indeed. Like, we knew they were a good side. The 2 best club teams in Ireland were playing today.
Joe, congratulations to you and to Crossmaglen. Well done. Back to Marty.
Thank you very much, Ger. Indeed, wonderful celebrations for a club that richly deserve this unique achievement. They've made history today, retaining the All-Ireland club title, and now join an elite band that have only done 2 in a row. And that's University College Dublin in 74 and 75, and St Finbarr's of Cork in the Toker area of Cork City in 80 and 81. But Crossmaglen have dominated Armagh football, Ulster football, and now the All-Ireland.
Arstúr Hall, agus a Cardiff Fad. A dasach báre, Éire Mariv, o'r Mwyachas, a gofáil leis an dá irin. A thug cluife sár cluife dúin an Shahanyaw. Do chuman na Fianna nach rá an tárthó, agus do bhóiteoir ína bliana an dá bhíle. The Haran Andy Merrigan, Christmaglen. Mwyachas ó Chré leis an dá irin. Dola míle maithagib. Bavaliam, Mwyachas a gofáil le gachaile imreoir, club a Jimir, I gréibh cluife na bliana seo. Agus dá nói, the specialta Mwyachas an East, le banca inta séirean, agus le Hugh Colley, banisteoid generalta, atá línean seo stáitse in Jobh. Tá méid 4 buíoch don oriacht intach atá corra fáileacu le riint blianta don chomórtas intach seo. Bavaliam ma bhuiachas sa chorinniúil don Voltóir, Mick Curley agus dá bhuir. Ach, ha rudar bí heile, déanamís cógáidechas, le ceann just na fórne is fearr, a facas riamh I barcan croci náid fáid bí eile. Cumann réanithe Crossmaglen atá tar éis 3 chréamh pelle a bhóchan le ceithre bliana anuas agus chréamh seo na mílíse don bhliain an 2000. Mar sin is cúis áthais domsa Coran Andy Merrigan a bhronna don trío hóir Cumann réanithe Crossmaglen agus a gaptéin bócach Anthony Cunningham.
And so Anthony Cunningham brings the Andy Merrigan Trophy. The All-Ireland Club title goes back to South Armagh for the 3rd time in 4 years. It is some achievement. And much to talk about as we go to a commercial break.
Welcome back to Croke Park. So Crossmaglen Rangers are the club champions in football once again, due in much large part to the man beside me right now, Oisin McConville. Congratulations to you. First of all, a tremendous win.
Thanks very much, Michael. Yeah, it was a hard-fought win. We got a goal, at the start of the second half, and I think we rested on our laurels at that stage. We were 8 points up, and fair play to them to come back and back and back at us. And lucky enough, Cahill got a point, and I think we got free myself, and I probably just edged us through, but I mean, you'll
want to have a look at this, obviously.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Talk us through it.
Well,
Made your way nicely.
I just got it, and I just swung me left boot on it. I mean, I'd missed 2 chances in the first half, and I wasn't missing that one. I was just concentrating on getting it on target, and luckily enough it went in. So
here it is, another angle. Beat your way in through that defence.
Yeah, I'm happy enough. As long as they go in the net, I don't care. I mean, it was a very important victory for us. In previous games we've beaten 2 Mayo teams up here, in finals, and a lot of people said, well, Mayo teams, want to cut out for Croke Park or whatever. I mean, we come up here to play a Dublin team. We come up here to be boss, and we were boss. And so we're just happy to be taking it back down the road for 3 years and 4 years, and hopefully we'll be back for another one.
Just to take you back to the goal there, the odd thing about that goal was it actually sparked them into life, and they brought you back to 2 points after that.
That's true. As I say, I think we just rested on our laurels, and we sort of let them back in the game. We weren't catching much about the middle of the field, and they were dominating the middle of the field, which is very unlike us because we have big men in around that department. But as I say, we're happy enough with the victory. You can't ask for any more than that.
I know you said to me that it was an important win for you against Dublin opposition on this occasion, but to put it in context, of the 3 you've won in the 4 years, how does this one rate?
I think this is up there. This is the best. I don't think we were ever as well prepared for a game. We took John McCluskey in this year, and this is the fittest we've ever been. And we played well against UCC, and we played well in patches today. But finals are very difficult, to maintain such a high performance level. And at the end of the day, we come up here just for a win. We didn't care how we won, whether it was by a point or 10 points. And we're coming back down the road, as I keep saying, with the Andy Merrigan, and we're just happy.
Oisin, you've got your win, you've got your victory. Thank you for joining us. I know you want to go back and join your teammates in the dressing room. Congratulations once again.
Thanks very much.
All right. Well, with me also Kevin McStay, of course. Kevin, we're looking at that second half, and as I was saying to Oisin there, the odd thing about the goal they got was it was the one thing that actually sparked Na Fianna into life, and they started to play a bit of football then.
I thought they did very well when they did get going. They're going to regret now they didn't play for the first half, Michael, because they scored the same as them in the second half, and only for the first half they didn't play.
Another look at that goal, and this was a very important score, obviously. I mean, it was still 3 points on the board for them, whatever way it made Na Fianna play.
Made by Cummesky, really, it had lost its impetus, and he gave a lovely hand pass into Oisin, and he did swing his left at it a bit here. There's a lovely touch from McEntee into Gavin Cummesky. Now, they'd lost, the attack was gone at this stage, but a beautiful hand pass across here, and well stuck. Oisin was fantastic.
Yeah.
In these situations, he's so tidy around the goal. I know he missed 1 or 2 in the first half, but he threatens every time he gets it, and it's brilliantly stuck.
Well, that was the goal, but of course there were so many good players on this team, and they have the experience over the years as well. I mean, I thought, and you said to me at half-time, Colin Short was so wonderful today as well.
He had a marvellous match, and he was a thorn they couldn't come to terms with. It was a fantastic score, cut in under the Cusack there, and he actually hits that with the outside, bends it back across the goal. That's a terrific score. You'll see it from this angle really well.
Yeah.
That ball moved. That ball moved about 10 foot. I was just in line behind. It was a great shot.
Yeah, and it was a rifle shot as well.
Yes, great score.
Obviously, you have to feel sorry for Na Fianna. Their big day too. They've come here.